Welcome back. 2017 National Collegiate Paintball Association Championships. I'm Matty Marshall with Kevin Catfish Arcia. And right now we are about to watch the Clemson University Tigers take on the Temple University Owls in our third match of the day. So far with pretty big wins. Drexel defeated the Wisconsin Whitewater Warhawks. And then the Miami Redhawks were taken down by the Texas A&M Aggies. So both Drexel and Texas A&M looking very good in their first matches. And here on the breakout, kind of a bad start for the Tigers.
Yeah.
Clemson on the left-hand side of your screen, and in the orange jerseys, they do have a lot of aggression. They lose a body. So actually count that 3 bodies left alive for the Tigers right now. They do have a body up in that center 50 though, Kat.
I think that's the only one alive, man.
No, they still have, they got
oh,
two,
they have one
two
more.
more.
Yeah.
Now
okay.
they have 2 more bodies over here.
Oh, do they? Okay,
They're working with 3, but pushing aggressively.
Making a move.
And not able to stay alive. So now just 2 bodies for the Tigers here on this snake side, and then
2 on 3.
Temple throwing a body over on this snake side. So it's been quite the bloodbath here in this first point. Bodies dropping for both teams. It looks like 3 bodies left alive, so a slight advantage both on the body count and the position for Temple. Temple now past the 50-yard line in that center, but he might have caught one too. And he's asking for a check from the ref. I think that ball bounced. And he's going to just line these 2 players up and run down the last 2 players here for the Tigers. And that is going to do it. So in a very chaotic first point here, Temple putting their first one on the board.
Chris Kutzler coming in aggressive up the middle, trying to get those last 2 kills in the back. Yeah, it was a good breakout for both teams. I mean, it looked like Clemson got a penalty on their side. I guess one of the players left early, a little early.
Was that what happened?
Yeah, that was what happened.
I thought that he tagged up. It didn't. I don't know if he got a clean break.
He didn't make it back in time, and then he went and shot, and a flag went in.
Well, not the way you want to get things started here if you're Clemson. But yeah, that was one of the more chaotic points that we've seen. I mean, Clemson got a little bit of a bad start, but was pushing very aggressively. I mean, they took the D side off the break. I think the D2. They took that center 50. Temple countered nicely, though Temple lost a couple bodies as well too.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, it's a mistake. I mean, there's other fields here. We have 3 other fields running at the same time, and I mean, you hear a whistle blow, and you're just in that moment you want to go.
It's tough though, and I understand that is definitely a thing that does happen. I mean, yeah, when you do have fields that are close and the horns are blowing for different fields. However, I think the thing that you need to be sensitive about is the volume of the horn that blows at this field is going to be a lot louder than the other fields. So when I'm helping teams out or when I was playing, like, to me, that's not really an excuse.
Yeah.
Like, I know you hear the other horn, but you really need to be sensitive to the volume of that other horn. It's not as loud as the one that's here on this field, so I don't count that as a good, solid excuse. I know it does happen. We do see it occasionally, but I'm sorry, that just doesn't cut it for me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right.
But that is what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
So now
he just didn't make it back in time when he tagged up. So,
but I liked what I saw. I mean, that was probably the most aggressive breakout that we've seen so far from a team to start out the game. So we'll see if Clemson there, the bottom portion of your screen, as heavy guns looks like for Temple. And another aggressive breakout here, going all the way up on that D side of the field, skipping 1 and 2, going right to that third, that mini wall bunker.
2 players coming off of Temple.
So a good break right now for the Tigers as they have penetration on that D side. No one really up far on the snake side, but do get 2 kills to start things out here. And their player on the D side now into the red zone, up into D3.
Trying to get that shot across on a snake, Temple behind the snake here. Oh, and another Temple player coming out up the middle, looking like that Dorito player doing work back there.
Temple having some survivability issues here. And even in that first point, they won the first point, but they lost some bodies doing it. And now trying to get out wide on the D side, wide on the snake side as well.
Looks like both corners alive for Temple here. The last 2 players alive. Whoa, nope, spoke too soon. Looks like the little Temple behind Dorito is the only player left alive for Temple. I don't know if the Tigers know this or not.
Well, Clemson lost a body on that on the D side, so and they lose another body in the center. So both teams kind of being hampered by some survivability issues. Another thing too that's not much of an excuse out here is the communication, as it looks like.
Oh, chopped up.
Well, look, Clemson put themselves in a good spot over here in the snake side, but lack of communication for Clemson, I'm sorry, for Temple, not knowing that body was there, and he was able to get that kill. But the thing that you can't really have communication, the lack of communication, be an excuse out here in collegiate paintball, because your coach is on the field with you.
Right next to you.
Yeah, right next to you. I mean, the coach is literally on the field. He's not on the playing field, but he's inside the net. So there's really no reason that you shouldn't have good communication here in collegiate paintball.
Yeah, there's also coaching on the other side. So I mean, Dorito side definitely has some coaching going down over there. And you're right. You know, either the coaches need to pick up and start looking around, joysticking their player down the field, or I don't know.
Well, we got ourselves a tie ball game right now. 7:25 to go here in this first half. We're in the Temple pits, and we haven't seen a close game yet today. We saw 2 blowouts as Drexel beat up on the Warhawks from Wisconsin Whitewater, and then the Redhawks from Miami getting taken down pretty solidly by Texas A&M. Right now, tie ball game, Temple Owls taking on Clemson Tigers. And from what we've seen, and I know it's early on, just 2 points have been played. However, these teams look relatively even matched.
Yeah, well, we got 2 seasoned teams right here. You know, this is their division. They definitely know what it takes to win. And unfortunately, earlier we saw 2 of the newer kids on the block getting pushed around. You know, getting taught lessons. You know, a little bit of paintball life lessons being taught.
So there's Coach Ben from Temple, been around a long time.
Too long.
The younger guys from Temple are always messing with Ben, saying he's been around since the dinosaurs walked the earth. But we can relate, right, Catfish?
Yeah, definitely. You know, teams need that guy that's willing to come back and coach.
Yeah, you need
those
to
guys
have
are
leaders.
valuable. Yeah.
So let's check in with the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Lauren Kelly.
Hey guys, it has been a hard morning for Temple. This isn't their first match. Prior to this match, they played FAU, and they actually lost 8-1. So they are not feeling too great in the pits, but I talked to the coach, and he said they're really just trying to figure out how they can bring the game back so they don't get another loss here. Back to you.
Thanks, Lauren. Well, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty bad loss to take, and it looks like Temple able to get into the 50-yard line here, trying to get back from that first loss that they took. And in good position in the snake. Sherry in good position at that 50-yard line, but the Tigers getting a body into snake 1 to try to counteract the aggression from Temple. Casey in good position for Temple in that center, so they've set themselves up nicely, and also making a move on the D side into the mini wall bunker. So good positions, good
all
secondary moves, yeah, from Temple here, Catfish.
So if we got one of the Clemson Tigers in snake 2 trying to get that shot on the W, and now he's a little worried about and here we go.
I'd be worried.
A little 2-step. Did you see that?
No one watched over him, but I mean that was a good move.
I like the little 2-step before he went though. Must have been those fast shoes he has on.
And then tippy-toeing off. So nice move by Pike from Clemson. Unfortunately for Clemson, he only got 1. There's 2 big threats for them still on the field for Temple. And, you know, Casey now just kind of clearing things out as off that chaos, Clemson losing too many bodies. So nice solid point by Temple. Very aggressive, getting into the snake pretty quickly, getting that center, and then making those secondary moves on that Dorito side of the field, which is exactly what you want to see. And so he's going to do a little spin, get checked out by his teammate, hang that flag up, get checked out by the referee, see if the point's good. Looks like it is. Though I didn't see a thumbs up from the ref. Normally the ref gives us a thumbs up. Didn't see that. And there's the thumbs up. So let's check out this replay here, snake side. And here's the battle. So here comes Pike. Now, Pike, this is a smart move by Pike.
Oh, a little 2-step.
And then comes and drops the hammer, and probably should have dove in there, but he must have been taking some paint. Yeah, and he asked for a check by the ref. Want to take cover, but the problem, unfortunately for Clemson, was not only did Temple have that center 50 here, snake side, they had, the 50-yard line on the snake side. They had the center 50 as well, and they had a body moving up on the D side towards that 50-yard line. So, just too many threats for Temple here up and near that 50. Clemson also losing too many bodies out of their spots. and that is why it is now a 1-point lead here for Temple.
Yeah, if you're, and a little advice to players out there playing the snake, if you're going to do a rundown just like Pike did, I would recommend diving into the snake after you do the takedown, not kind of sit slide like he did there, because I mean you're still above the snake when you do one of those.
The only situation I would say would be different than what you were saying, Catfish, is if you know where everybody is on the field.
This is true.
But yeah, I mean, because of the way the snake is built, you kind of want to get down low to avoid throwing your body away when you do make a good move and you're not trading out. Because a lot of times when you're running the guy down that's in front of you, most of the time it's a trade out. So if you do get a clean run and you get that guy, you're always trying to just give yourself the best possible situation for you to stay alive. Diving would be the best possible way to stay alive in that situation. So right now, Temple up by 1. And hyper aggressive. I do like what I'm seeing out of Clemson as they continue to run pretty much the same play. They send a body up the center, and then he dives out into the mini wall on the D side. He's getting checked out by the referee there, left-hand side of your screen. And they also take that center 50.
Oh, penalty for Temple.
Trade out in the center, but that minor penalty on Temple sends a body to the box and a body walking off. No one on the snake side. They're going to bump a body across to the center 50.
Clemson, oh man, losing a player trying to rotate over to the snake. And we got another player rotating to the snake. I think we got, let's see who was that Pike that we got running over? No. Conti, I believe, is on the snake side for the Tigers.
Clemson definitely has the advantage here, a one-body advantage it looks like, but they threw a body away on this snake side. When you are in these high-body situations, you got to be really careful with your secondary moves. You do not want to throw that body away and then close the gap, because if I'm Temple and I'm one of the last 2 players alive, that's what I want. I want you to push sloppy. I want you to try to make that big move, that big bite, so I can get a shot on you and try to tie it up on the body count. And Temple's about to do just that as they get their third body out of the box from that penalty. So now it's 3-on-3 right now.
I don't think Clemson knows it's 3-on-3. I don't think their coach actually saw him come out of the box. Oh, and they're at the Temple now making these big moves. Look at their center W now in the snake 50 with ease. We have Kutzler just dicing people on the Dorito side. Oh, it's a 1-on-2 now. Looks like Kutzler doing work here on the snake side.
Yeah, well,
a lot of these big kills are coming off the snake side, man. I mean, like a lot of the players are saying the Dorito side is causing havoc. Maybe they need that havoc going down that side to help the snake player get to where he needs to get.
Well, that's Paintball 101 right there. Get a body up on the D side, let the gun shift, and then push down the snake side, or vice versa. Kunstler right now getting it done for Temple. 2 confirmed kills for him, and it looks like he is going to get that third one. Actually, I think that was his teammate cross field. Still, good teamwork by Temple. With Kunstler making the move here, secondaries into the snake, gets a couple kills, the gun shift to him, and then his buddy Dugan able to finish things off on that D side to give themselves, it looks like, a 2-point lead as long as the hang is clean. Looks like he's sucking wind too early on.
Yeah, a lot of cardio being missed here.
You guys are in college. You should be able to run forever.
They need to start doing some little, what was I going to say?
You need to call up Scotty Kemp or Greg Sewers.
Do a clinic.
Get on that cardio tip. It is warming up a little bit here. I mean, we are in Orlando, Florida, and it is a glorious day.
Yeah, it's nice.
Bright blue sky, a little bit of a breeze. Definitely not the hottest tournament we've been in Florida, for sure. You can see there that replay in the center of that action. But again, Temple, we've been talking about, Catfish, how these teams are relatively even matched. You can see there on the replay.
Yeah.
But, Temple just slowly pulling away a little bit. Only up by 2 with a lot of time left. Let's check in again with Lauren Kelly.
Thanks. I was in the Tigers pit during that brief break, and they're saying that their major problem is communication on the field. In the last few seconds of that last point, they had no idea that Temple had a player in the snake, so you're going to see him try to talk it up here.
Very crucial. Communication is, you can't overstate how important communication is. Also, because this is college paintball and you do have the ability to coach, there's less of an excuse for you not to have the communication going cross field. Another thing too, it's another thing that seems relatively simple. There's only one way out of this field, right?
Yeah.
You have to walk out past the snake. So typically you want to tell your guys on the snake side, it's not just your responsibility, it's everyone's responsibility to do this, but if you are on the snake side, especially on a gunfight heavy field like this with big back bunkers, somebody has to be counting those bodies walking.
Oh, yeah. They got to be called out.
Heavy guns for Temple, 5 guns up for them. They do take a little bit of ground in that center. They do not go out wide at all, and they are able to produce results with that. Looks like a kill coming off this snake side here, Catfish.
Yeah, it looks like 2, and there's another one coming off, and did they go snake side heavy on those guns, Matt?
I don't know. I mean, they had 5 guns up, so they were covering pretty much all angles of the field. They had guns shooting up the center, guns out wide, snake side and D side, and there comes a huge fill.
It's a big bite.
Bushari again as he gets to the 50-yard line, but they're making it pretty easy on themselves as they had that really good break. The heavy guns did work, and now a desperation fill.
Yeah.
Somehow Clemson able to make it out there.
Yeah.
Nope, finally gets taken out.
One more player here, and it looks like he's been eliminated, or I'm not even going to butcher his name, his first name or last name, so he's number 4 to me.
Bushari.
Oh, okay. I'll let you do the butchering.
So another clean point here for Temple. Really came down to that solid break that they had. They went with 5 guns up. You don't normally see 5 guns up. They did take a little ground in that center, but it ended up working out for them. They shot a body off the break, another one directly after that, gave them a 5-on-3, and they finished the point out nicely. Now Temple score 4-1. Minute and 51 seconds left to go in this first half. We're going to be right back. Stick with us.
What up, guys? Brad McCurley, VC Dallas, and Empire Paintball here. Going to show you guys the new Vanquish GT. The main new feature with the Vanquish GT is going to be the V16 drivetrain that's on the interior of it. This is your new bolt system. Go ahead and pop that out. So this is it. This is the new V16 drivetrain. We've filled a lot of the air release valve holes, so you don't see that on the back of the can anymore. And what that's going to do for you is going to put a increased amount of pressure on the forward motion of the bolt. You're actually able to drop your dwell down significantly as well as your ABS dwell down, so it makes it more efficient and a much softer shot as well. So the spring is what used to help with the forward motion of the bolt, so we wouldn't have the bolt stick. But now, because of the change in the engine altogether, we do not need the spring whatsoever. You'll see the new colors coming in. These are actually on the way right now. Sharp.
Little under 2 minutes to go here in this first half. And after a close start, Temple really starting to pull away here and looking pretty solid. I like the game plans. They're effectively working those off the break shots. It looks like a timeout going to be called probably by Clemson. Catfish, if I was Clemson, I'd call a timeout right now.
Yeah, I'd definitely call a timeout. Take a little breather, reassess the situation at hand. You're down by 3. Time to switch something up.
Yeah, and it looks like with them calling that last second timeout, we're also going to take another quick timeout to hear a few words from our sponsors. So we'll be right back. We are back here, and we have an update from the Temple Pits with Lauren.
Hey guys, during that break, I was in the Temple Pits. It seems the mantra for them this weekend is slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Their coach was saying if they start out slow, they will make the right moves instead of starting out fast, making bad moves and having to take time to fix them. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So that's their strategy for their playing this weekend.
Well, whatever they're doing right now is working. We still have some time to play in this match. A little under 2 minutes for the first half, a whole second half to play. But Temple looking real solid right now, Catfish.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like they're making a break for the snake off the break. Look like Tigers still doing. Oh, this is going to be devastating to this guy right here. Yep, back massage.
Oh, we got chicken wings. Boucheri gets into the 50-yard line for
Back
Temple
massage.
and just stitches up the center player for Clemson.
And he's still chicken winging
Oh,
back
man,
there.
he chicken
He's
winged
looking
him.
at him.
I mean,
He
he
didn't
put
know
what,
what happened.
6'7" right in the small of his
that
bag?
was chicken wings. I think those were hot wings right there.
Yeah, he had no idea that that was coming. And now Temple taking the 50-yard line here. So, Temple just outplaying
He got
Clemson.
him.
Oh,
Yeah,
bad death for
Boucheri.
Boucheri. Gets hit cross field, but another body coming off. Count that. 2 more bodies coming off for Clemson. Just 2 bodies left alive for them. And now just about a minute to go here in this first half. We'll see if Temple can utilize this advantage, try to close out this point, put another one on the board, and take a pretty solid lead.
1-on-3 at this point here. Oh, man.
Dugan now pushing up past the 50-yard line and
Yep.
trying to close this point out. They're absolutely going to be able to put this point on the board.
Yeah.
So very quick work for Temple. The Tigers, the Tigers are coming out with some aggressive game plans, but they're just getting beaten in that secondary part of the game. I mean, you can almost look at a paintball point as a 3-act structure. You have the beginning, that first act, the very first beginning of the point. What game plan are you going to run? How many bodies are you going to shoot off the break? How many are we going to lose? But then that secondary part, you arguably could say that's where the points normally won or lost. I mean, you could make a solid argument for all sections of the point. But the thing that Temple's doing better than Clemson is, yeah, they're having good breaks, but those secondary moves, those next spots they go, the gunfights that they choose to engage in, that's really where I believe they're beating Clemson right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Boucheri went into that snake, at ease and went straight to the 50 and then decided to give Pike a back massage in the middle.
It doesn't look like – I like the game plans that Clemson's coming out with. They seem to be making their spots mostly. Yeah, they're losing bodies here off the breaks. Paintball, that's going to happen. However, they don't seem to really understand and be thinking about trying to stop Temple from making their secondary moves. And you can see them once they get in that first gunfight and they get put in, Temple's making those moves. Temple also is coming with some aggressive game plans as well, so they're putting themselves in really good positions mostly to make those secondary moves. But if Clemson needs to tighten something up right now, that's what they need to tighten up. They need to really be wary of those moves. And now that you're seeing enough points out here, you really need to know, okay, guy gets in the stand-up Temple, he's going to be making that move into the snake. And that D side, there's a lot of moves to be made on that side. So they just need to really be focusing on shooting Temple out while they make those secondary moves, or put enough pressure on them so they think twice about making those moves so then you can make the move.
Yeah, and the communication as well, because I don't think they communicated that Boucheri had gotten into the snake off the break, because initially the Pike, when he got to the W, he was looking snake way, and then as Boucheri was coming to the 50, he turned his back to it. So I think the communication is a key that they're lacking a little bit in as well.
Oh, a huge break. Wow, to the 50-yard line. Both teams send a body into the red zone on the D side of the field. Temple goes all the way to the 50-yard line. He lives, and Clemson sends a body to D4, but he makes it in clean and then gets shot out of that spot.
Temple losing all their players on the snake side, looks like.
Hyper-aggressive breakout for both squads, but Temple getting the better of Clemson here. And the reason why they're making these big moves is there's barely any time left. But I think that Temple's going to be able to put – well, Kunstler went and run and got the flag, but he ends up getting shot. Dugan's going to run and grab the flag. And with just under 10 to go, looks like there's going to be – I think that Clemson conceded the point. How would you do that? Try to make him hang it. And I don't really understand that one right there.
I don't understand why Kunstler threw the flag on the ground like that.
Well, I think he was shot. So I think he took one, dropped the flag. Dugan grabs the flag from him. But then on his way in, it looks like Clemson concedes yet another point to Temple. But why would you do that? Why not hope that they don't run that flag in with enough time?
Or a dirty hang.
Or dirty hang, yeah, exactly. Which then would give you an advantage on the next point. Regardless, they concede it. And I don't know, I think they'll probably might be playing it out. I don't know if they're going to run the clock off and head straight into halftime. Here we'll see shortly, but this game started out really close in the beginning as both teams started out 1-1.
Yeah.
But Temple has just been running away with this one.
Yeah, Tigers can't seem to catch a break, or just like you're saying, they're just running into these gun battles, not heads up.
So I haven't seen an indication as to whether or not we're heading to halftime. I think they're going to play this out.
Yeah, they're going to play out to 10 seconds maybe.
Maybe Clemson's just trying to get as much paintball in as they can. But another thing we're seeing is quicker points in this game.
Yeah.
Because these two teams are coming with aggressive breakouts, and when you have teams playing aggressively, you're going to see more points. And we hadn't really seen that through the first two games. I mean, the first two games ended similar to this score. We had 7-1 with the Dragons over the Warhawks as Drexel took down Wisconsin. And then the last game, similar, it was a 6-1, but that was at the end of regulation. We just have a whole second half to play here, which means two things. One, Clemson has enough time to come back, or if Temple keeps playing like they're playing, we could see a ridiculous point margin here.
Yeah, there could be a real ridiculous point margin coming up here soon. And I don't think that player made it there. No, Clemson coming out. One player didn't even make it to the box, and 3 coming off. Yeah, 10.
So going to be heading to halftime with the score 6-1. So Temple with that 5-point spread. But like we were saying, Catfish, this game did look pretty even, and some of these points have been relatively close, but I really like how Temple picked it up.
Yeah, Temple seems to want it a little bit more at this point.
Yeah, Temple's definitely hungry as well. You should be here first day of the college championships. Let's check in with Lauren down in the pits.
Hey guys, I'm here with Marston Conti. Now, going into the second half, you guys are going to be down 5 points. It may come down to some quick points here. I heard you guys talking in the pit about trying to get those fast points with a minute left on the clock in this first half. What do you think you need to execute in order to successfully try to get quick points if it comes down to that?
Well, we just need to be good at adjusting. We're doing a really good job getting out on D side. I mean, we're getting to D50, we're getting in there. They're just doing a really good job gunning us off Snake side and getting in Snake and pushing the issue on us. So we're going to be switching up our lanes a little bit, trying to get those guys. That last point, we gunned 3 of them off break. We just didn't have the time to do it. So I think we can come back. We're feeling good in here. We're doing fine. So just look for us to be a little more aggressive and get those guns on the second half.
I did hear you say, though, that they're going really wide off the break and you guys aren't able to prevent them from taking momentum. When a team gets out wide on the break like that, in your mind, what do you think you need to switch up in order to get some kills so you guys can take back the momentum?
Again, it's just switching up game plans. They had a game earlier this morning that we were watching them, and they were going up in the center a lot. So we were really gunning for those lanes, not gunning out wide. And so we're going to switch that in the second half and really gun for some different guys.
All right, stay tuned for the second half after break. Thank you.
What's up guys, Greg Sewers from the LA Ironman out here at the inaugural NXL Combine. So insane day, we started first thing in the morning. We went through 4 different quadrants where you had myself and 5 other high-level pro guys out here teaching everyone different drills. So like any clinic, we started out by teaching the guys how to maneuver throughout the game, use certain skills, and kept it simple. And then moved on to time trials where we actually started testing their skills and grading them, because we actually had a bunch of high-level representatives from teams from Impact, from the Ironman. Billy Wing was here, Eric Crandall from Dyne's was here, scouting players. So the Combine's been a great opportunity for high-end pro teams to actually find the time to come watch some of the up-and-coming talent. So as we got through that, the guys got graded, they got broken up into teams, And then we got a little more complicated. We had one field running 5-on-3 drills and seeing how the players were able to break down the game. And then myself and Marcelo were working on a 3-on-3 half field drill and watching the guys try to work together and build that communication. While you had Grayson Goff and Ryan Greenspan working on a snake drill and seeing those guys be aggressive and work together to get down the field. So breaking down the game. We finished up by walking the field that the guys are actually going to play the Combine tournament on and had an opportunity to watch them play together. We assembled their teams here, so a lot of these guys don't know each other. But again, a great opportunity for these high-end pro teams to see the up-and-coming players, and I gotta say, I was really impressed with what we saw. So events like this, the Combine, the Winter Classic, they're an incredible opportunity for up-and-coming players. A lot of this doesn't exist anywhere else. It's really hard to find high-end players available in your area. We're not able to make clinics in every area. Your field may not be available to us during that time frame. And to be honest, we're busy at the tournaments. So this is an incredible opportunity to get that one-on-one attention and progress through the sport. So the Combine also puts you in front of those eyes, right? But beyond that, the NXL Winter Classic is just a great opportunity to get the best practice humanly possible. You're gonna play with players from your area. You're gonna play at the level that you could maximize at, and you're gonna have an opportunity to play against other pros. So if there's one in your area, if you have the ability to make one, there's no better way to get that tournament experience that you need to be a better player. You'll hear a lot of high-end guys go, you just need experience. Well, this is where you get it. So I know you guys are interested. If you need more information, be sure to visit nxlpaintball.com or paintballcombine.com. Visit their social medias. They're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, and all the information will be available there to you. So be sure not to miss the next one. You don't want to miss out.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. 2017 National Collegiate Paintball Association Championships. I'm Matty Marshall with Kevin Catfish Arcia. And right now, Clemson getting beat up by Temple pretty bad, Cat.
Just a little beat up. Just a little beat up.
Well, and it was interesting. We were listening to the interview with Lauren as she was talking to Marston Conti from Clemson. He was talking about how they needed to become more aggressive in this half. I don't think that's the way to go here. I mean, they're already playing arguably the most aggressive out of any team other than maybe Temple that we've seen, which is why you're heading into the second half looking at the score being 6-1. The other games ended at 6-1 or 7-1. So the reason why a lot of points is because they've been playing aggressive. So we'll see. Things about to go down right now. Again, Clemson in the orange and black on your right-hand side, and Temple in the red and black on your left-hand side. So they definitely did not push very aggressive here. There goes a little bit of aggression on that D side, but keeping some bodies in that back for Clemson to try to roll the guns. Temple also playing really aggressive in this game.
Looks like the Tigers are right. You know, they're able to get into that 50 Dorito area, and looks like the Temple's not trying to get into the snake here, or coach is talking to his player, trying to joystick him in there.
Well, Clemson ignoring the snake. Temple, you're saying, is attacking on that side, trying to get, you see their body language goes right into snake one, past snake one into snake two, goes right to the 50. Why does he go to the 50? There's no one to stop him. Yeah. So Clemson trying to do damage control, runs out to the back corner bunker on the snake side of the field, and then fills the stand-up Temple behind as well. So good repositioning here.
Yeah, but at this point, it's too late. The damage has been done. He's at the snake 50, you know?
Well, he's there, but he's playing very conservative in this spot, has his gun up. You can see he's not even at the 50 right now. He's just laying in the leg behind it because at least they put a little bit of pressure on him. But Clemson, again, survivability issues, a factor out here in this gunfight heavy field, and they lose a body on that Dorito side. Now Boucheri makes his move to the 50-yard line here, snake side.
Looks like he has a couple guns, tying up a couple guns here. Boucheri doing his job. That's what his job is right there. Get into the 50 and tie up guns. And out of the 4 that we have on the field for the Tigers, looks like 2 of them are on him. Doing his job, doing it correctly, sir. The Tigers are on the gray area of the field, while the Temple Owls are hanging out in the red.
Well, Temple's in real good position right now. Yeah. They have D3 at the 50-yard line Dorito here on the snake side, and they are doing exactly what they need to do. Tie the guns up and make Clemson have to play tight in their spots and get dinked out. And that's what's happening. But nice run down here on the snake side to get Boucheri out of there. So Clemson getting checked out by the ref. He is clean, and in snake 1, 2 bodies in front of him, but no one in the snake with him. So this is his point to win here. He's got to be really careful.
How many owls we still got available here on the Dorito side? Looks like 2.
On the D side, 1 for sure, as Temple does have a body. You can see their dead center screen in the red zone at D3.
Oh.
Oh,
I mean, the last player in the snake is not a good position.
Yeah,
this
this
is
is,
a highway.
he's about to get welted up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tap him out.
Yeah. Mercy was given right there, sir.
That's a good little come from behind. Temple with Boucheri, I wouldn't say come from behind. I mean, they obviously have a big point lead, and that was a pretty even point. But they had position. But losing Boucheri over here was big for Temple. But Clemson, again, just survivability. They lost 2 bodies on that D side pretty much at the same time, and that was it for them, as they just had this 1 player over here on the snake side. So not getting a good look of it here. Clemson, and it comes down to Temple's making better moves and Clemson's getting shot out of their spots. Yeah. Real simple.
It looks like they're starting to concede the snake, too.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
So you're looking at the action go down in the snake. So there's Boucheri. He gets shot out of there. And Clemson was able to take that spot, but then he gets run down by 2 guys right in front of him, and then there was another body on the D side. So Clemson, even though they said that they were going to play more aggressive, went less aggressive here, so maybe trying to fake Temple out. But Temple played, they didn't have a reckless breakout, but they were able to get penetration on the D side real quick. They got in that red zone. They get Boucheri up in the snake, and even though Boucheri dies, they still were able to dominate the gunfights, and that's really been the difference here. Is Temple is just dominating the gunfights. Clemson a little too sloppy in their bunkers here.
Yeah,
Catfish.
Clemson seems to be getting into the Dorito like they were saying earlier when they were talking to Lauren, and but they're not surviving, like you said. Survivability is not good on that side of the field for them, unfortunately. I mean, it's great that you're making that bunker, but you need to put someone in there that's going to survive or at least get you a couple kills, you know?
And that's across the board, too. It's not just the front guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard to be a front guy if your back guy is constantly dying behind you.
Yeah.
So now
How's that?
we'll see if Clemson can get it together here.
Oh.
Down by a bunch, but they get a little bit of a break, as it looks like Temple, one of their players doesn't even have a gun. So this is like one of those drills. You want to work on communication? Do drills where you just have a guy and he doesn't have a gun. He's forced to talk it up, but Temple just throwing an easy point away right here for Clemson. This is Clemson should. I mean, Clemson's.
This is a gimme.
This is a gimme one for Clemson. Clemson now at the 50-yard line in the center. They also have the snake, and there's really only 1 player left alive right now for Temple, and he gets taken out. So this is a real quick one for Clemson. They needed this one, Catfish.
Yeah, they needed it. It's a gift. Gift from the gods. Here you go. Here's a point.
Well, they need a bunch more, because now it's only now it's 7-2 with 6 minutes and 23 seconds left. So 5-point spread here as long as Conti is clean. Not sure what happened over there for Temple, but
it looked like one of the players got out late. That was the first drop.
Well, one of them didn't even have a gun. How'd that happen?
Second one is he didn't. I don't know. I think they were just trying to get bodies out there.
I don't
at that point,
I don't think I've ever seen that. I've watched a lot of paintball over the years, more than most, and I can't remember ever watching a guy go out to start a point without a gun. Here it is right here. So you see they have 3 bodies, and there goes the 4th, and there goes the guy with no gun.
Yeah. So a little word of advice. If you don't really need to be out there if you don't have a gun.
Hey,
you're
this
useless.
is a battle, okay?
You're useless.
You need to bring a weapon to the battle. If you're not, if you're not bringing
useless.
a weapon to the battle, then I wouldn't say he's completely useless, because he's out there at least, so that is a live body, and he could maybe, run and grab the flag. But remember, we used to do that as a drill?
Yeah.
If you got a guy on your team who is not being effective as a communicator, the best way to get him to communicate is play a point, but take his gun away.
Yeah.
You take his gun away, the only thing he can do now is talk it up. Like, literally the only thing he can do. So it's a good way to break somebody out of a bad habit of communicating. Run him a couple points with no gun. I promise you he's going to start talking.
But we're talking about practice.
We talk about practice.
We're talking about practice right
This
now,
is the
though.
championships
This is a
right here.
championship. You don't do that in championship. That's just
They're just trying to make it entertaining
ridiculous.
for us. A little bit of a blowout here. Trying to keep things a little interesting. So it looks like we have a little bit of a timeout.
Really exotic.
We're going to hear a few words from our sponsors. So stick with us. We'll be right back. We are back. Clemson really needs to pick it up. They have 6 minutes and 23 seconds left to do so here in the second half of this matchup. Down by 5. Let's check in with Lauren.
Thanks. During that last point, the ref said that 2 of the Temple players never tagged up, which is why 1 was taken off the field. The second one that didn't tag up was told to get off the field, just looked at the ref and didn't get off the field, which is why that minor flag was thrown. Of course, all the Temple paintball players are saying that they did tag up, but nonetheless, they're still in the lead. Back to you.
Yeah, and quite the lead it is. 5-point spread here, 6 minutes to go. Clemson needs to be on the attack, and a big fill from that back center all the way to the Temple insert here. Snake side, also to the 50-yard line in the center. There on your screen, looking towards the Dorito side of the field, but Catfish, Clemson, again with survivability issues, losing a body on that Dorito side of the field.
And it looks like they're about to lose their center guy as well. Looks like Temple's sending one of the owls up the middle to alleviate him from his position.
Nice execution in that center, and then off of that, making the move into the red zone. So I really like the secondary moves that I'm seeing out of Temple.
Sure, just going in at will, just knowing when.
Oh, but he didn't.
Just gets in the pack.
Yeah, he went in real high.
Yeah.
And just not able to stay alive in there as that angle was just coming in. So now Clemson able to get into the snake. Temple losing another body on that D side, so 2 bodies have come off for them. This is a situation where Clemson has an opportunity to try to get this point spread a little bit closer. It's still pretty even on the body count here, as there is the player for Clemson, under 5 to go. He looks a little confused in there.
Yeah. Oh,
as far as which way is he going to shoot his gun.
Oh, Temple player taking a core sample. Get it. Oh, man. I'd be real surprised if he gets a paintball out of that gun right there, the core sample.
Well, he's going to need to shoot the 3 inches of dirt he has in his barrel out. And he has his hopper. Now he's got his hopper off. Yeah, he's riding the struggle bus over here in Snake 1.
Definitely.
D2 is hot, though, for Temple on the opposite side of the field. And there's moves being made by Clemson to mirror that. He's now in D1.
Oh, Clemson player on the snake side also having a little bit of gun issues.
I think Chin's finally got his gun up, though. He just loaded up a new pod. Haven't seen him shoot any paintballs out of there yet, though.
I don't think he can.
Well, he needs.
Oh, he does.
There he goes. He's got it up and rolling. Clemson loses a body off on that D side, so they're starting to run out of opportunities here.
Oh, man. Wholesale.
Ugh. White needs to walk the field a little bit more.
Yeah.
White's doing a good job of getting into the snake, but once he gets in here, I don't know if it's a lack of communication, not knowing where the bodies are, but he seems a little confused as to what angle he's going to shoot.
Oh, that's What's the point?
But I don't, White, hey, he got in there, and is he still alive? Who did this point go to? Did it go to Clemson? I'm seeing bodies walk all. White's now walking off.
I think Clemson conceded it.
Okay, yeah, so White got saved by his teammates conceding that point, as there was one body left on that D side for Temple, so that's going to make it now, again, a 6-point spread here. It is not looking good for Clemson.
Yeah, not at all. Besides, there's a lot of things going wrong in their end of the field over there.
Well, let's check out this replay, and then we'll try to break it down for him here. So you can look at that move in the center that comes at execution, and Temple playing the aggressor. And then here goes, see how high he is up there? He's just going a little too high around that corner, that bunker, and wasn't able to stay alive in that angle. And then here's the core sample. That's why you want to keep the tip of that barrel up when you kind of glide on your elbow. And he loses his hopper, a little bit of a yard sale here. So he grabs the hopper and then has to do a little bit of surgery on his gun. He did finally get it up and running. So, hey, he maintained his composure in there. But let's break Clemson down. So at this point, at this stage of this game, down by 6, you're going to have to run on that ragged edge of aggression. So you're going to be playing a little bit more aggressively, actually much more aggressively now that they have under 4 minutes and they're down by 6. They have to ride that edge. But before this, Temple, more calm and composed, better job of working out the gunfights. And as we've seen on this layout with the bunkers and the way that these teams have been playing, even though these two teams have played it more aggressively than the other 2 matches we saw this morning. But Clemson is just having big survivability problems. They're dying out of their spots. And also, like when we watch White get in the snake, he doesn't seem to know what angle to shoot. Yeah. That's something, whereas, say, like Hall, when Hall was getting in here, or can't remember who the player was for Drexel, when he was getting in there as well, too. Very calm and composed, but knew all of the shots before he was even in there.
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah. So that's what Clemson needs to work on here the rest of the weekend.
Oh, this is just...
It's desperation time.
Yeah, it's desperation time, but they need to also look at the lanes that they're choosing to take to get to their secondary bunkers, and it's just, I mean, you gotta poke out, you gotta see if there's a gun in that lane, man. I mean, just running blind. So I'm just gonna get up, and put my head down, and run.
Yeah, but they're doing that because they're down. I'm not saying that that's the move to do. I mean, even when you're down by 6, again, you're always, even in a situation where you have to push into guns, you're still trying to make the moves to give yourself the best chance. So you still want to keep your eyes up and look for those lanes.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's just been all Temple since the beginning of this game. I mean, other than the first point that Clemson scored and the point that Temple threw away, this has just been nothing but a beatdown from Temple.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you said they had a difficult time earlier today?
Yeah, well, so their first game, I can't remember who that was against, but
Florida.
Yeah, that was it. FAU.
FAU.
Which is one of the favorites out here. FAU always brings a really solid squad to nationals. But this is a big statement for Temple.
Yeah, definitely. They need this one. They need a, take a step back, compose themselves, assess what happened in the first game, and then just readapt to it.
Hey, the way to come back from a blowout loss is to have a blowout victory, and that's exactly what Temple's doing right now. 9-2 is your score. 2 minutes and 39 seconds left to play in regulation time, and we'll be right back. Stick with us.
Truly believe in the guy next year, we're gonna win. We are the scariest, nastiest, dirtiest team here, and we're gonna win.
We are back. 2017 NCPA championships. Catfish, nothing but blowouts this morning.
Yeah, it's been, we come here and do our jobs here, but it's very difficult to be
tell
able
the
to
same story.
Tell the same story Yeah,
Well,
it's just real difficult.
Looks like a timeout being called here, and if I was Clemson, I would absolutely call a timeout right now. And while we have a timeout, let's check in again with Lauren.
Hey guys, Clemson knows that they aren't going to be able to win this match, but they're staying pretty cool and collected in the pit, saying they're going to take this as their learning match. It is their first match here at Nationals, so they took this time out to kind of talk about it, see what breakouts they can run to figure some things out for their next match, and they said you never know. You might see an all-wall. Back to you.
Oh, the mythical all-wall play. We've been begging for this all year, for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see the all-wall, 5 players of the wall, but on this timeout,
They won't do it.
We will see. But we'll be right back with after another word from our sponsors. Stick with us.
You know what makes paintball so amazing? The precedence is the top players will always dominate, and maybe that's true, just maybe. But the very concept of competition is that just because you're strong doesn't mean you can't be overcome. Every long shot or every underdog will tell you the same thing. The odds will be against you. The route to victory is a dark and windy road, but this test has no answer. This test is not science, it's not a textbook reference. This is a completely different universe, one where hard work and passion will always trump logic. The ticker has begun. In 5 seconds, that buzzer will go off. And before you make your first step, just remember, the past will not always add up to your future. No stat nor lineup makes the difference of who wins and loses until your moment arrives. And that is what makes paintball amazing. The new season has begun, and a whole new level of support is here. Take your team to the highest level of competition with industry-leading support and the best equipment paintball has to offer. And that's not all. We love winning just as much as you, and when your team wins, we all win. Join the sponsorship program and earn tons of free paint this year. Hear more at paintballsponsorship.com.
2 minutes and 39 seconds remain, and after the timeout, we'll see if Clemson can try to claw back into this one. I mean, it's really kind of impossible at this point. Your score, a lot to a little, 7-point spread.
Looks like Clemson, White trying to get into the snake off the break and just getting decimated. We have a...
Well, Clemson's still attacking that center. And look, the tournament is early. It's Friday morning right now. So a lot of paintball to play, and Clemson, they have another match. They have to stay composed. I mean, yeah, this is a pretty big win that Temple's about to put up right now, and another execution in that center. So though Clemson is doing a good job of getting to that center 50, they are not protecting their guy up there.
No.
And he keeps getting bunkered out.
Now they doubled walled up here.
Still didn't see the all-wall play.
Yeah, there's no all-wall. They're not down, man.
I mean, nothing else is working for him right now.
I want to see an all back center bunker.
You know what, though?
play.
I don't mind the game plans that Clemson has been running. They're just having massive survivability issues.
They're just not, not staying alive.
So Chin in good spot over here, and Temple could just grind the time down, take this win. Doesn't look like they want to do that. You can tell by their body language, they're still trying to put another point on the board.
Yeah.
I mean, Chin's in here. He's not hiding. He's wrapping around, trying to get a kill. The guy that really got to worry about is D2. I don't think they picked him up. Yeah, they did. Nice on the run shot.
Oh, another one. Oh, 3-piece.
Nice shot by Dugan. Did he get 3?
Yeah, he got 3.
So Dugan runs up the center to get himself a 3-piece to put the 10th point on the board. Highest point total we've seen so far this morning. We still have a lot of paintball to play here at the NCPA Championships. But Chin and the rest of the boys from Temple making a pretty big statement here, running up the score against Clemson.
All wall, sir. All wall.
I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it.
That would have been great. Man, we probably could see it here, 51 seconds.
Well, we have seen a quad wall play, I think in the divisional finals, I want to say, in Vegas. But 51 seconds to go. Let's check out this replay, and you can see Dugan there in the center for Temple. Comes around. I didn't think that he knew where that guy was, but he definitely knew where he was. Got that kill. Gets himself his second and his third kill to complete that run through. And he was pretty pumped, and as well he should be for that nice move there. Clear out the remaining players for Clemson and put that 10th point on the board for Temple. So, again, learning experience here for Clemson. And that's really the only thing you can chalk this up to right now, Catfish. I mean,
Definitely.
we've all been on the wrong side of a whooping before, and there's really no other way to look at it other than take your beating, learn from your mistakes. And I think the biggest mistake, or mistakes plural, that we're seeing out of Clemson is the lack of survivability.
Yeah.
I don't mind their breaks. They have shot a couple Temple players off the break as well. They also not everyone seems to know the field as well. Now, again, this layout just came out, so I can understand, but that's why you walk the field. You know, I mean, the snakes, it's a snake, man. You know, the angles change, but not that much. And so, again, the lack of knowledge when these guys are getting into their spots, their secondaries, I think that's causing the deaths. Because, you know, when you get in your spot and you're peeking around, trying to figure out who you need to shoot at and, you know, trying to get the communication to go cross field, and then all of a sudden you look out into a ball.
Yeah.
You know, whereas if you know, again, it's just isolating variables. There's only, once you get into snake one, not everyone on the field can shoot at you. So you have to figure out, okay, well, who most likely am I going to be getting shot at? The D side's real strong. People have been moving up on the D side. So again, it's just, I need a little bit more homework out of Clemson and a little bit more tight gunfights in their bunkers.
Oh.
They definitely they're not scared. They definitely got the aggression thing down. We have yet to understand or see enough points on this field to even know if aggression is the way to go out here, to be honest.
So this point right here, at this point in the game, is where they just start coming off wholesale, because they're losing their gun battles. They're just running blindly in a stream of paint.
Yeah, they're just, again, no time left, down a ton of points. At least they're dying onto their sword.
Yeah, it's one way to go.
You know, I mean, again, they're going to lose big. You might as well lose big playing aggressive. It's better than hiding in your bunkers and losing gunfights.
He didn't even know he was there. Clemson wants to put one more. Nope.
See, not a bad end for the Tigers. Again, yeah, they lost big, but at least they were pushing forward and trying to win that last point. So, you know, they need to go back to the drawing board, and again, they need a little bit more knowledge of the angles out there. I think that's causing some of these gunfight deaths, and didn't mind the game plans, but just not enough. But on the flip side, though, Catfish, Temple looked very, very sharp.
Yeah, they looked very good. But I don't know, Matt. Well, from what I'm seeing, I'm thinking that the snake is where all the kills are coming out of.
Yeah, the snake is definitely becoming very important. The D side obviously is important as well, too. We'll see. You know, we'll see as this layout continues to play and we get different teams getting different looks and reps out here. Before we go to a short break and head to our next match, let's check in with Lauren.
Thanks, Maddie. I'm here with Chris Kutzler. Congratulations on your win. Now, this wasn't your first match of the day. You did play FAU this morning, and it's kind of a blowout that didn't go your way, but you came back and you had your own blowout. What were some of those things during that first match? A lot of people are calling this their learning match because you haven't been able to practice the field, analyze it that much. What are some things you're starting to learn and understand as you go further into this tournament this weekend?
So far, it's been the standard, like the back fives. People aren't really breaking too far because the lanes are pretty wide. As far as the learning thing goes, the first match, there were penalties that just weren't in our favor. There was a lot of not as much paint breaking as we wanted. And so, in a sense, I guess it was learning in the sense that we needed to shoot something different, shoot some different lanes. But otherwise, it's a matter of getting that first kill, locking it down, and then playing smart, not throwing bodies away.
Talk to me a little bit about breakout strategy. We saw earlier A&M was doing a lot of wide breakouts and being very successful with that. We've also seen a lot of teams play the pocket off the breakout. What do you think is going to be the most effective breakout this weekend?
With this layout, it's definitely the wider you can get, the better. There's nothing in the middle as far as bunker goes, so if you get wide, you can chop everybody up when they try to make their bumps. Texas A&M, maybe they're a little quicker than us, used to the heat, but hopefully if we see them on Sunday, like we'll be limber and ready to go.
All right, well, congratulations on that win. So far, Temple has won one, lost one, so you got more to play. Stay tuned. We'll have Tennessee versus Michigan State coming up.